She used to be criticized for being too fat, not looking like the other girls in Hollywood. She had weird makeup and her hair was too short. She needs some Botox. She needs some plastic surgery. She needs to look like everyone else. Well, now Kelly Osbourne is being criticized for being too skinny and having too much Botox and too much plastic surgery. Oh, how we love the world and of course all of the extremes. If you somehow miss the era of the Osbournes, they are basically the rock royalty meets reality TV of insanity. You've got Ozzy Osbourne. He's a legendary Black Sabbath frontman, professional headbanger, and a man who has looked confused pretty much since 1973. And they kind of played with that confusion in the Osbournes reality show that I grew up not watching, just seeing like the intro and people making references and whatnot.
Hi, darling.
Someone has been in my room and taken my beers away from my room.
I don't think so, darling. Who would do that? Who could possibly do that? Who's the beer thief? You. You're the beer thief.
I did watch it a little bit. Luckily, I wasn't super big into reality television, just had my little spurts. But I do remember the show. And I think I was more of a Flava Flav type girl. Wow! Yes, because I'm Black. There was the mother, Sharon Osbourne. She was the actual real CEO of the household. She was the manager. She was the mother. I feel like she's really the only reason why the family survived as long as they did. And before this video, I was kind of reading about her and Ozzy's relationship, and I didn't know he did all of that.
It was pretty damn scary because, you know, you're in a house, no neighbors each side, your kids are asleep, you know, you're on your own. What the hell do you do? You know, it's frightening.
But you must have thought to yourself, what am I doing here? Why am I staying in this? What was the answer when you asked yourself that?
Oh, God, yeah. Many times I would consider it and I'd go through the scenarios in my head. And that one time when you know, Ozzy was arrested, we were parted for 3 months. And of course, the first month it was like, oh, heaven, no arguments. There's, you know, lovely atmosphere in the house and it's great. And then the second month, you know, the kids are, where's Dad? We really want to see Dad. And I want to really see Dad too. And then by the third month, you know, it's like, oh, we can make it work.
So, yeah. And then we have the kids, Kelly and Jack. They grew up on camera as children of celebrities do, especially if you have a whole reality show. And the family would yell, argue, love each other, scream, and accidentally become super iconic. Almost iconic as the dad. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble saying that to the people who are super fans of the band that he was in.
See, we're all gonna go to hell if we listen to Ozzy Osbourne records and that shit.
But they became a household name because they were on reality television, aka MTV or VH1, one of those two that had the reality TVs on them. Well, fast forward to today, now people are saying Kelly Osbourne, the fat one of the family, as they would say, which I am looking at her pictures back in the day. Yeah, she was chubbier. She had a very like round face, like cutesy baby face. But the way that I was remembering her and how the tabloids would talk about her and how just people in general would talk about her and her weight, I thought that she would be like Tess Holliday size. Yes, she was overweight, and I think she's pretty short. Let me fact check that. How tall is Kelly Osbourne? Oh my God, she's 5'2", just like me and everyone else in this world, because everyone is 5'2" here. Anyway, she was overweight for her size. I was probably around the same size as her before as well, and people always would be like, oh, she's fat. Can we get a full body picture real quick? Right there, that's the Kelly I remember. Kelly Osbourne. Well, that's how she would look. That's the one that I would remember. But then recently, I think like a year or two ago, she would pop up with just purple hair, more plain makeup, and a thinner body. Let's zoom that out right there. Yup, and people flipped out. Well, now they're flipping out even more because she got even thinner. Kelly would join TikTok and people were gasping. People didn't know who she was, but were very shocked when they found out. They came up with names for her like Skelly Osbourne. Do you get it? Let me explain the joke. They took out the K and put the S, as in she's a skeleton now. And then they compared her to the other mother from Coraline. Very good movie, by the way. I love that one. And you know how in the body positive community, many people will say you shouldn't talk about people's bodies and we shouldn't promote talking about people's bodies, especially if they're not even talking about their body. She wasn't even talking about her body in this post. She was like talking about her kid or something.
Can you say good morning?
got messy hair and you just walked up. Can I have a kiss? I love you. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, nobody said good morning to her. They were just saying, why you look like that?
Hollywood is out of control right now. Somebody just sent me a picture of Kelly Osbourne and her mom, absolutely skeletal. Temporal waist. This looks malnourished.
Which I do have to say, as someone who remembered her as that and the purple haired picture, that was a little like, oh, I truly didn't know who it was at first until she started talking, and I'm like, oh, is that Kelly Osbourne? She looks totally different. And her main picture on her profile looks completely different than what she posts. And she's even using a filter to kind of help her out a little bit, and it's still so like daunting, unfortunately. And people noticed, people pointed it out a lot. This showed up on my For You page. And Kelly got right back on and said, you guys are awful.
For example, you say that I look ill. Well, I am ill right now.
Ooh, it kind of reminds me, I'm really bad with names, and I'm not the biggest Marvel person, and either way, I'm really bad at naming names in general, but the man who played Black Panther, and he got on the red carpet, and he was extremely thin, and people were like, haha, what a beta loser. Look how fucking skinny he is. He looks like an idiot. And he had cancer, and then he died. Yeah, so apparently she's sick. Also, I don't know if people forgot or even know, because her daddy freaking died. It was a whole big thing, and she seemed really close with her dad. And so she also might not be eating right now. She might be a little nauseous to have her dad that she had all her life just drop dead, and it being super public.
My life is completely flipped upside down. I don't understand why people expect me to bounce back and look like everything is just fine in my life when it's not.
I really never understood the I'm stressed, I can't eat, because before, when I was stressed, I would just binge eat and try to like feel that void of stressfulness with just like sugar, when it just makes everything worse. Anyway, I didn't understand the other side. Only one person in my family can't eat when they're stressed, which is my mom. And I remember her getting so skinny, and I just didn't understand, like, how can you not eat when you're stressed after her dog passed away? And I was like, that's so weird. But it happens. And it started happening to me as I got older and dealing with like my friend died, and all of a sudden I just had no appetite, and I just was disgusted. I just could not eat for some reason. But because I'm a little more educated on nutrition, I know if I'm not hungry or I go through that, I just pick really calorie dense food that I don't have to eat a lot, so I don't feel sick. So it's like peanut butter, a lot of high fat type foods, avocado. Small thing, a ribeye steak will take you a long way. It's a lot of calories. So whenever that happens, I tend to try to get like higher calorie foods, so then I can still continue to work out, because working out is great for stress. Because if you don't eat, how are you gonna lift the weights? How are you gonna do your pull-ups? How are you gonna do your push-ups? You can't. You're gonna be so shaky. Actually, I'm experiencing it not so much right now, but still for a couple days I was just like not very hungry. Guys, my editor passed away. One of them passed away, and it's just so sad. I feel awful for her family. I feel kind of like out of the loop because I don't know like her friends or like I just knew her because she edited for me. And so it's just, I feel so awkward. I feel so awful. I feel so sad. I feel like all these feelings. I have no clue even what happened, how it happened, if it was awful, if it was a choice. Like, I don't know anything. So it's just, I'm so not hungry as much as I normally am. So I can kind of see, I mean, her whole father passed away, so she's probably not down to eat some food, maybe. Not saying it's healthy. I'm just saying I can kind of understand now that I'm a little bit more on the other side, but I do know what to do to try to like combat that, because exercising is really important to me.
I'm 100% honest. I share my struggles with people, and people share their struggles with me, and they help me and I help them. But these mean comments are helping nobody. They're just making you feel big and clever and like you have achieved something, but all you've achieved is being a bully.
So when I saw this video pop up, I thought the comments would be a little bit different, as she's being a lot more transparent, pretty much saying, yeah, I'm not doing great at all. I feel awful. Okay? And no, the comments don't give a shit. They're still saying, you look awful, you need to fix it. People are saying this out of concern, not bullying. Grief is normal. Lost my dad too. Still ate and took care of myself for my kids. Which, you know, you have to give yourself good nutrients, not overeating, not undereating. Especially if you have kids, you want to be there as they grow, so that they don't experience their mom dying, especially at a young age. At least Ozzy was like, how old was he? Because even watching the show, I was like, Ozzy seems not healthy. 76 years old. It's like, I'm awful with death. I don't do well. And now that I'm getting older, I guess I don't eat when someone around me dies. But I do try to remember, like, Garrett will try to talk to me through this, and he'll, especially if they're older, like when Yoshi passed away, like she was damn near 15 years old. She had a great life, and Garrett's always saying, like, she was old, Michelle. Like, there is gonna be a time where you have to say no, even though I want to say never, they never die. Everyone should just live forever. But I guess focusing on the age does help a little bit. Doesn't help me in the case of my other friends that died who were younger than me. So still learning how to deal with that. But we are lucky if we get into our almost 80s and we're still alive, and as well as Ozzy Osbourne was, to my knowledge, to be here. Anyway, back to Kelly. Grief and Ozempic are two totally different things. So I think the comments and with her weight and everything are kind of negative, probably because Kelly was on the red carpet talking about Ozempic, and she pretty much said the people who talk shit about Ozempic are the people who are too poor.
People hate on it because they want to do it. And the people who hate it on the most, the people who are secretly doing it or pissed off that they can't afford it.
Oh, and also, working out is boring, so I'd rather take a shot.
There are a million ways to lose weight. Why not do it through something that isn't as boring as working out?
So there's like a little bit of truth to what she's saying, because I find there's so many people like in my life who would talk crap about plastic surgery, but they didn't have a lot of money. And then the moment they get money or they marry some rich dude or something, or they get a better job, all of a sudden I'm starting to notice face changing a little bit. They were talking about how Botox is so bad, and now all of a sudden you're getting a little Botox there. Your lips look plumper. Your cheeks are doing that thing that I see a lot of people are getting. They get like the filler, I think, in the cheeks. And secondly, she said working out is boring. So I'm gonna guess that working out isn't very important to her, and she's one of those girls, like from my era, the millennials, who would rather just starve themselves than work out, which means that eating is not going to be as important to her either. Like for me, eating's very important because I love working out. I want to lift heavy. I want to do my pull-ups. There's no way I'm going to pull these booty cheeks up if I'm not eating. So yeah, she most likely isn't. And her mom is apparently doing the same thing. She's also taking Ozempic, and people are also saying, ooh, what'd Sharon do to her face? So this one is before, and this is the after, and many people were calling this the Ozempic face. And what I'm reading online is that Ozempic face gives you a hollowed out appearance, sunken in cheeks due to a lot of fat loss, and signs of aging, wrinkles, loose and sagging skin. Honestly, when I saw the picture, I just thought she was getting older, but many people were saying, no, Ozempic face. But I have seen people in my early days of personal training where they would lose weight really, really quick because they weren't eating, that their skin just looked really, really saggy. So if they're a family, you know, like her, Kelly, and what's her name, Sharon, are both taking Ozempic and not eating, and then Ozempic, from what I understand, like makes your muscle depreciate, you gonna get saggy. It'll happen. So this was the picture that I saw when I was scrolling as well, and I was like, dang. 1, huge hair. 2, she looks a lot like her mother, just like a younger version. And 3, is that the Ozempic face that they're talking about? Because still, to me, it just looks like she lost weight, and people are probably used to her super circular face. Like, we're just so used to seeing her so much of a plumper, cute face. When you see cheekbones, you're like, huh, what's going on? I mean, they did say that they do take Ozempic, so, and that she's not eating. But I'm just trying to be like, I'm not someone that's against Ozempic. I feel like people hear Ozempic and they freak out. In my head, this could also be plastic surgery. You know, I have no idea, but what I do know is I was shocked when I saw it, and so was everybody else.
Kelly Osbourne says she lost all of the weight because her dad died. I'm not gonna be mean, but Ozzy hasn't been coherent since the 1940s.
But both of them have been extremely outspoken or truthful about that they're totally taking Ozempic. They want to be thin.
You and Kelly have been very out front about like Ozempic, using Ozempic,
Yeah.
right? You're okay with that or that people talk about it?
Yeah, sure.
You're one of the few. I feel like I've heard before that you can always tell when someone has used Ozempic because they won't talk about it. Like if someone won't talk about what they're doing to lose weight, then you know it's because...
Or they come up with something, oh, I have a new trainer.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And
I inject them into my stomach.
So yeah, I don't know what more people want. We've got people who are on the internet saying nobody needs to be talking about being on Ozempic because other people are going to take it. It's going to be unhealthy.
Shut up. Stop telling people, yes, I'm on diet, start exercising every day, I really need to lose some weight.
And so people just stay quiet, and then people are saying you need to tell people if you're on Ozempic. And then we've got these people who are like, okay, I'll tell everybody I'm on Ozempic, I want to be thin, and then people are upset. So I think the lesson today is that no matter what you do, if you put it on the internet, people are gonna be mad at you. And if you get too skinny, they're gonna compare you to the other mother from one of my favorite movies. And that's what trended on TikTok. That's all I have for you guys today, but I have more in another video because I want to keep talking to that cute forehead that is the most perfect size, not too big, not too small, even longer. If you guys think people are looking freaky on Ozempic, you should look at the fitness industry because they're getting pretty freaky in there too. We're gonna talk about the weird, the cringy. If you don't want to look at skinny people, look at these muscular people and some fat, because there's a new trend and rise of the obese personal trainer. So come with me, let's hang out a little bit more. I'll link that right up here or right down in the comment section and the pinned comment. And I will see all of you guys in the next video.
I'm a gym girl.